Alrighty, let's talk lighting system. The last time I did one of these videos was the Florida C2C, but Fenix has changed up some of their stuff. They added some new lights, and so I've upgraded a couple of my lights. So this is going to be a little bit different than the one that we did after C2C this year. Let's start off with the headlamps, and specifically bike headlamps. This is the HM61R headlamp. It does have all the straps, so it's designed for your head. I have it zip tied to my bike helmet, but basically you can do with it what you want. This is 1200 lumens. One caveat, all of these lights take the 18650 battery. I'm going to get into the batteries later, but it's a standardized size battery. So everything on this table takes the same battery. We also recommend the entire team use lights that take the same battery or the same system of lights. So if one person's stuff fails, you can easily grab stuff from another teammate. So let's get back into the headlamp. 1200 lumens, which was wicked powerful. It's 3.5 ounces minus the batteries. So all the weights that I'm going to give you are without batteries because the batteries weigh differently depending on what the mega amps they have. 3.5 ounces. It's $89.95 on their website. So $89. It's got a bunch of different levels. So if you put it in the lowest level, you'll get about 300 hours out of it. It's really dim. Like if you were just looking at maps, in the dark, it'd be fine. So 300 hours at the dim level. The next level goes to 38 hours, then 12 hours, then 4 hours, and then 2 hours. 2 hours is like you're using the whole 1200 lumens trying to find a checkpoint. So you're not likely to be riding around with it like that. Usually I'm fine with riding it at the, not the lowest level while we're biking, but the next level up, especially if you're on road or something. You just use it on the really low levels or let the bike light do all the work and leave this off. But also you can use this to look at your maps. It does rotate. So you can angle it down, put this on really low. So when you look at your maps, it doesn't blind you, and then let your bike light do the lighting up of the road in front of you. Another thing I really like about this light, it actually is removable. So theoretically, you could pop it off and use it as a hand torch or put it in your out there pack or whatever. So it's not dedicated to the bike helmet. So I really like that aspect of it. It's one of the reasons why I upgraded. Okay, so let's get into the next light. Oh, one more thing. This one's waterproof to 2 meters. So, okay, the next light. Now this is a workhorse. This one is the HL60R headlamp. It's $74.95 on their website. This is an older model, really durable older models. This is one of my first Fenix lights that I ever got. We used it in Expedition, Oregon, and I loved it. But as you'll notice from this one, from the other one, the specs are going to be a little bit less performance, okay? So this is 950 lumens. The other one was 1200. This is 4.3 ounces. The other one was 3.5. So it is a little heavier. Let's see. Its levels are 100 hours on the lowest level, 29 hours, 10 hours, 3 hours, and then 48 minutes. So it does have all the different levels, but it's a little bit less efficient if you notice. So the other one could handle 300 hours on their lowest level. This one only handles 100, although I think that level is a little bit lower than this one. Let me see. It is also waterproof to 2 meters. I forgot to mention the other one, the HM61R. It does have a magnetic charger. So like this one, it has a little flap. Sometimes it's hard to get open, but there's a flap and a little charger that goes in, but water can get inside there. So the new one that they have, it's a magnetic charger. So basically, there's just a little port on the back, and you just hook the charger right to it. You don't open up anything on this light, so no dust and dirt can get into it unless you open it to get the batteries out. So that was one upgrade. But this one works so well. It's like I want to get the new one, but this one works so good. So why? Other than to watch out for the weight. Okay, let's now get into hand torches or flashlights. I like to call them hand torches because it just sounds cooler. So this is the LD30 flashlight. This is probably the one that I'm going to carry with me while I'm in Ecuador. And the reason for it is I like having a trigger on the back of it because when you're looking for a CP, you can just you can even hold it down and let it back up. So you can just do a little quick burst, and then when you're stomping through the woods, you can just look around with it. So it's not as hard to turn off and on. It does have another switch on the front. But it's a little bit more awkward. This is kind of more fun. Look like a cop or a military guy looking around for CPs. Let me see. This one is 1600 lumens. So this is really, really powerful. 2.1 ounces. So it's pretty light. The runtime is 70 hours on the low setting, 17, 5 hours, 2 hours, and 1 hour. But if you're putting this on 1600 lumens, this thing will shoot like 200 meters away. I I mean, it's super bright. Like, you should never have to go that bright unless maybe you're on the water and you're really looking like you're on a canoe and you're looking for something really far away on the shoreline. You can really use this thing to light it up. This one also goes down to 2 meters. This one does not have a charging port or a magnetic way to charge it. So you really just literally have to open it up and take the battery out and charge the battery in some other external charging device. I don't have a problem doing that because I'm going to show you my charging device in a second. But it's just one of those things. It doesn't have a port or anything like that. Fenix is pretty much getting away with the ports so that way water and dust can't get in. Okay, so the next light we're going to talk about is the E30R. Very, very similar to this one. The main difference is it doesn't have the trigger. So what that's going to do, many of the specs are going to be the same, it's just lighter. So this one has just a flat back. So you do have to use the little button here. This one does have a magnetic charger, which is pretty handy. So this is the E30R, 1600 lumens. So it's the same as the other one. This is 1.8 ounces compared to the 2.1 ounces in this light. Okay, so it is a little bit lighter, not too bad. The runtime is 70 on the low setting, 17, 5, 2, 1. So basically the same as this other light. Because they basically take the same battery. I think the head unit is basically the same. The switch is basically the same. The only difference is the charger. And this one has the clicky thing on the backside. Good news about these, which is what I really like. On all of the Out There USA packs, there's this tiny, there's the pouch in the front, and then there's this tiny little place down here. That's usually where I keep my hand torch. I just put it right there. It does have like a belt clip. I use the belt clip on there because I don't want it to bounce out, and I don't want it over time. If you have it in there, it'll eat through the webbing in the bottom of the pack. So if you use that on there, that way your light's just always handy. So I love doing that. I love the way it fits in the pack. And both these lights will fit in that little thing. This one just sticks up a little bit further, but it still works fine. Okay, so now let's get into the bike lights. On the Florida C2C, we talked about this one, the BC21R. I think this has been discontinued on their website. It's a good light. I love this light. It's a single battery light, and we've never let us down. One thing that we did do is we added a Nikon lens cover thingy. And that way, if this falls off your bike, it catches it. So I do recommend you get these on Amazon, like wicked cheap. Okay, so this is the flagship Fenix light. This is the BC30 version 2.0, 2200 lumens. It's $89.95 on their website. 5.4 ounces, so it's a durable. It is a little bit heavy as a light. I don't even think I have batteries in this. Basically, it has this little tray that slides out. There it is. Very durable. It's got, let's see, runtime is 50 hours on low, 16, 6, and then 2 if you put it on the super bright setting. It is waterproof to 1 meter, and it is designed for bikes. It's probably hard to see it, but there's like a lens on here. So basically, it doesn't want to blind people or cars in front of you, but it lights up everything in front of the bike. So this is a really, really good light. So this is the one I'm going to be riding in this race. Okay, so now let's talk batteries. All the Fenix lights, almost all of them, check their website, but almost all the lights come with a battery, right? Normally it's going to be this 2600 milliamp or milliamp hour battery. This is the standard 18650 battery. This will work in any of these lights. They do sell these. If you want to get some extras, like I bought a bunch of extras so that we'd have a plenty for this expedition. So they cost $9.95 on the website. So if you compare that to some of these other brand of lights that have like proprietary batteries, you might spend $200 or $300 for a battery. Meanwhile, these you can get them for $10, and you can carry some with you. You can go on Amazon too and get these little plastic containers that keep them from rattling around or touching or short circuiting and anything. So I usually I don't carry extras with me. What I normally do is I have one of these in my hand torch, which I only use the hand torch just to get CPs. So if my headlamp runs out, I would just pull the battery out of the hand torch and put it in there. So this is really the way I carry my backup battery. Okay, so if you're going to do one of these expeditions and you really just spend the money so that you have the better equipment, they make a 3500 milliamp hour battery. It's exactly the same size. It just has quite a bit more oomph. It'll just last a little bit longer. So all the run times are going to go quite a bit further. These are on their website. These are running for $24.95. So I got a bunch of these. So we're going to try to kind of get by the whole race. And if I move back over to my 2600s, because we burned through these, but normally I start off with these. As I was looking at their website to prepare for this, they have a couple other size batteries, which I thought was odd. But they have a 2900 battery for $14.95. They have a 3400 battery for $19.95, and then this one's the one for $24.95. So if you're going to do an expedition where you're multi-day, I recommend carry the big lights, because you'll probably get through the first 2, maybe 3 nights before burning through a battery if you're not blasting it super bright. Okay, so the other thing, Fenix used to have a lot of chargers on their website. I think because of supply chain issues, they have a little bit of problems. They do have a 2 battery charger, but since I'm charging a lot of batteries, I ended up going with a different brand. I apologize, Fenix, just only because you guys didn't have what I needed. I bought one called the XTAR Dragon VP4 Plus, so it can handle 4 batteries. But the one thing that this had that I don't know if Fenix has one or not, but it does a refresh. So you can, if you've had a battery for a long time and maybe its performance isn't that good, you can put it in there and it does like a discharge cycle and a refresh cycle or something like that. It just helps keep the batteries just performing at their max. So I bought one of those. Hopefully Fenix gets their stuff back up and running, and I'd rather be using the Fenix brand. Okay, that's the lighting system. This is what I'm going to be using. Andrea uses a very similar system, and I'm pretty sure Dirk and Brian are also on Fenix lights, or at least lights with 18650s. That's the most important thing. Everybody takes the same battery, even if it's a different brand light. And that way we can interchange batteries, and it's easy to work with. So, all right, let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the chat, or on Facebook, put them in the questions, and I'll do my best to monitor it and answer any questions that you guys have. We do have a promo code for friends and family, specifically Adventure Racers. So if you're interested in getting anything from Fenix from their website, hit me up on private message, and I can put out the code and get you the code, so that way you can get yourself set up with a system. Be aware of stuff on Amazon, because there's a lot of knockoffs. So it's going to look the same as these lights, and it's going to be a different knockoff. And so it's going to be less quality, and maybe the performance isn't there, or maybe the batteries just don't fit right. So I highly recommend going through Fenix directly, and that way you make sure you get the right products. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.